For our topic that we will discuss, there is three types of heat transfer, which is conduction, convection, and radiation. To show you the process of the heat transfer, we chose boiling the water as our project assignment. As we all know, the boiling water is our daily life to make food and drinks. But did you ever think what is the process that occurs when we boil the water? So, to show you the process, as you can see, there is the radiation, where it is the source of the energy that the fire is emitted to the pot. Then, the convection, where the fire is touch the surface of the pot, and lastly is the convection, where the process of the boiling happen in this boiling water. This is the sample diagram of the heat transfer, which is convection, conduction, and radiation. To discuss it deeper, let's go to the next part, where we will explain about these three types of heat transfer. Convection is the mode of energy transfer between a solid surface and a liquid or gas in the motion. Heat is transferred by the convection through the fluid layer when there is motion in the fluid. As you can see in this picture, there are arrows that shows upward and downwards, and this is what we are about to explain about the convection. When you hit the atom, they vibrate and gain kinetic energy needed, and the position between each of the atoms start to further apart and start to move when there is different temperature of the atoms. Then the transfer of heat happens when the warmer atom and the cooler atom meet. Density differences in the fluid arise from the heating process provide the buoyancy force to move the fluid. For your information, hot fluids are lighter than cold fluids. Because of that, the hot air, whereas the red arrows, rises and leave the empty space at the bottom of the beaker because of the rising air. Then, the fire hit the cooler fluid at the bottom of the beaker and the fire warms it. Next, the cooler fluid changes to the warmer fluid as the warmer fluid changes to the cooler fluid as it gets close to the top, so that it is moved to the bottom of the beaker because of loss of the temperature, and then move outward again as it gets heated by the fire. This cycle will continuously until the temperature between both of the fluid is same.
Assalamualaikum everyone. So today we're going to talk about conduction. Conduction is defined as energy transferred by direct contact. Heat conduction is defined as transfer of heat from more energetic to less energetic because of interaction between two particles. There are two types of conduction, which is steady and transient. Steady conduction is a no change with time at any point within the medium. Transient conduction is defined as variation with time or time dependence. So conduction in matters. Conduction take place in matters such as liquid, solid, and gas. In solid, conduction are good conductors of heat among all. Mobile metals are good conductors of electricity and heat. While for liquid matters, conductors are less good of heat than solid. Electrolyte liquid, mercury at room temperature. As for gas conduction matter, it's a very poor conductors of heat, and it's ionized gas such as plasmas. So for today, the topic that we choose is boiling of water by using a Bunsen burner. The material that we choose is metal beaker, Bunsen burner, and water. The reason we choose metal is that metal is a solid material and its particles are closely packed. If we look closely, the particles are closely packed. So when the heat is applied, it makes the particles to vibrate, so that the heat that are applied initially is conducted through the materials. So this is what the conduction is all about when it comes to this experiment. As the atoms vibrate, it carries that energy down the material by vibrating and passing it onto nearby atoms, making them to vibrate and intense. So this is how heat are transferred by conduction.
is radiation? Radiation is the energy emitted by matter in the form of electromagnetic wave or photons as a result of the change in the electronic configuration of the atoms or molecules. So, I will tell you about radiation. Radiation is different from convection and conduction because those require actual particles and the particles moving into conductions. Heat radiation travel by infrared wave. Those atoms conducting those vibrations in convection that we had the particles rising and falling. Okay, about just now, it is not required any particles because radiations on travel as a wave, and because it's a wave, it can travel through a vacuum and also where there's no air.